Welcome, travelers. You found your way to something old, a world forged across decades, filled with ruin and fire, light and redemption. This is more than just a story. It's a memory, a myth, a living echo of something far more ancient than parchment and ink. Across this channel, you'll hear the legends of a broken warrior, of kingdoms and shadows, of battles both within and without. Some truths are hidden. Some names will wait to be known. But for now, sit close. The flame burns low. For what you hear may very well change you. Fireside Tale 2: The Cleansing of Daggerholt. The tavern door creaked open, drawing a pause in the low murmur of conversation. The storyteller stepped in from the night, cloak damp with rain and boots heavy from the road. This time, the air did not stiffen in suspicion. Instead, a few heads turned with recognition, even welcome. The innkeeper offered a subtle nod and motioned toward the hearth, where a chair had already been drawn close to the fire. A space waited for him. One by one, the tavern's patrons turned from their conversations, their attention drawn to the storyteller's arrival. Unlike his last evening there, they looked not with suspicion, but with interest. "I assume the cost of such a fine place near the hearth is another tale?" he asked, voice edged with dry warmth. The innkeeper chuckled, already turning to pour from the tap. "Aye, that, and maybe a few mugs of ale or mead for good measure. Be it a fine tale." He moved silently to the flames, boots leaving wet prints on the worn floorboards, his movements betraying his attempt to hide himself and showing the demeanor of something, perhaps one who had fought before. Shadows danced across his face as he leaned forward, letting the silence thicken. Then, in a voice low and woven with embers, he began. "So, which tale is it you'd ask of me to tell?" This time, it was the innkeeper himself that had a request, since a good number of the others scattered inside the inn withheld their own words. This must have been discussed before his arrival, showing they not only expected his return, but had hoped for it. Walking over with a large mug filled to the brim with ale, the innkeeper spoke. "I'd hear a tale of the initiate himself," the innkeeper said, his voice steady with purpose. "We may be far from the kingdom of Arkenfell, but many of us have heard of him before." With a smile creasing the features of his face, the storyteller answered, "Some tales begin with kingdoms, or with the breaking of them. But tonight, I will tell you one of the man himself." Taking a sip from the drink the innkeeper set in front of him, the storyteller began. "The village of Daggerholt was small, filled with quiet and honest folk. Good soil, simple prayers. But one night, the forest near their fields opened its mouth, and what came out wasn't meant to exist. They had sent messengers, pleading and even begged for help. And help came, but not in the way they'd expect. It didn't ride on a white horse. It didn't wear a crown. It walked in silence, covered in scars, with eyes that hadn't slept in days. Accompanied by a small but potent force of soldiers, sent from Arkenfell itself, came the eternal initiate, the man still learning what he was, and what he must become." As the fire cracks louder, the storyteller's voice becomes a whisper, pulled into the shadows. "As for the Brezekian, our eternal initiate, there is another name many called him, but not one known to all. His true name, as simple as his pursuit of duty. His name was Seth."